Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Chill English Talks. I'm Edward, and today I'm here with Marie again.
Hey everyone, great to be back. Edward, can I ask you something before we start?
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation and just frozen? Like the words are somewhere in your brain, but you just can't get them out fast enough?
Oh, constantly. Especially when I was learning Spanish, I would start a sentence and then just stop because I couldn't find the word, and the other person would just stare at me waiting.
Exactly that feeling. It's so uncomfortable. And that's actually what we're talking about today.
Yes, today's episode is all about how to speak English without pausing too much, how to keep your speech flowing naturally and smoothly.
And if you've ever felt frustrated because you keep stopping mid-sentence, or you feel like your brain works in slow motion when you try to speak English, this episode is for you.
We're going to talk about why it happens, how to fix it, and give you real exercises you can start using today.
Not next week, today. After this episode, you'll have a clear plan.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so before we talk about solutions, let's understand the problem. Edward, why do you think people pause so much when speaking English?
Great starting point. I think the number one reason is lack of confidence. When people aren't sure about their English, they hesitate. They second-guess every word before it comes out.
It's like their brain has a little security guard at the door checking every word before letting it through.
Ha, that's a perfect way to describe it. And while the security guard is doing his job, the conversation is moving on without you.
Exactly. And the second big reason is vocabulary gaps. You're speaking and suddenly you need a specific word and it's just not there. So you stop, you freeze, the sentence falls apart.
And when that happens a few times, it gets discouraging. You start to dread those moments where you might not have the word you need.
Which leads to even more pausing. It becomes a cycle.
Right, and then there's overthinking. This one is huge. A lot of learners are mentally translating while they speak. They think in their native language first, then try to convert it to English in real time.
And that takes so much mental energy. You're basically running two programs at the same time, and it slows everything down.
It's like trying to drive while also doing math problems in your head.
Not recommended.
Definitely not. And the last big reason is nervousness, especially when talking to native speakers or in high-pressure situations. The anxiety kicks in, and suddenly even words you know completely disappear. I think everyone can relate to that. You know the word perfectly when you're relaxed, and then someone puts you on the spot and your mind just goes blank. Total blank. So to put it all together, the four main reasons people pause are lack of confidence, vocabulary gaps, overthinking and translating, and nervousness under pressure.
And the good news is, every single one of those has a solution. So let's get into that.
Okay, let's talk about the first and probably most powerful technique, thinking in English directly instead of translating.
This one changes everything. When you stop translating and start thinking in English, the pauses get shorter almost immediately.
Because you're cutting out a whole step. Your brain goes from thought to English words directly, no detour through your native language.
But how do you actually practice this? Because it sounds simple, but it's not easy to just switch how your brain works.
Right, it takes deliberate practice. One of the best ways is to narrate your daily life in your head, in English, like a running commentary.
Oh, I love this technique. Like you wake up and you think, okay, I'm getting out of bed, the floor is cold, I need coffee.
Exactly. Simple thoughts, simple English. You're not writing a novel, you're just keeping your brain in English mode throughout the day.
And over time, it becomes more natural. The English thoughts start coming faster because your brain is used to doing it.
It's like building a muscle. At first, it's slow and awkward, but the more you do it, the stronger and faster it gets.
I really like that analogy. Okay, what's the next technique?
Filler words. Now, I know some people think fillers are a bad habit, But actually, they're a really important part of natural speech.
Yes, native speakers use them all the time, and they serve a real purpose. They give you a tiny moment to think without creating an awkward, dead silence.
Exactly. So instead of going completely quiet while you find your next word, you can say, well, or or actually, or I mean, and those little words buy you a second.
And they sound natural. Nobody thinks less of you for saying, well, I think that's a good idea. That's just how people talk.
Right. The key is to use them smoothly, not to panic and freeze. Let the filler do its job while your brain catches up.
Some great fillers to practice? Well, so, actually, I mean, let me think. That's a good question.
That's a good question is a brilliant one, by the way. It's polite, it sounds thoughtful, and it gives you like 3 seconds to think of your answer.
Yes, teachers use it all the time.
So do podcast hosts, apparently.
Guilty. Okay, next technique. Shadowing. This one is one of my absolute favorites for building fluency.
Explain it for anyone who hasn't heard of it.
So, shadowing means you listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say almost at the same time, like an echo. You're matching their speed, their rhythm, their pronunciation.
And the reason it's so powerful is because it forces your mouth and brain to work at native speed. You don't have time to overthink, you just speak.
Exactly. And over time, your brain starts to internalize those rhythms and patterns. Speaking starts to feel less like building sentences from scratch and more like something automatic.
Where can people practice shadowing?
Honestly, anywhere. Podcasts like this one, YouTube videos, TV shows, audiobooks. Just play a sentence, pause, repeat it exactly, then keep going.
And the more you do it, the faster and smoother you get. It's one of those exercises where the results really sneak up on you. One day you realize you're just speaking without stopping to think.
That's the goal. That's the moment you're working toward.
Okay, and the fourth technique for reducing pauses, let go of perfection.
Oh, this one is so important. And I think it's the hardest one for a lot of people because we naturally want to say things correctly.
But here's the thing, in a real conversation, stopping to find the perfect word actually makes the communication worse, not better. A slightly imperfect sentence that keeps flowing is much better than a perfect sentence that takes 30 seconds to produce.
And native speakers don't even notice small grammar mistakes most of the time. They're focused on the meaning of what you're saying.
Exactly. They want to understand you. Help them do that by keeping your speech moving.
And there's a great trick for when you don't know a specific word. Instead of stopping completely, describe it. Talk around it.
Yes, so if you forget the word umbrella for some reason, you can say, the thing you hold when it rains to keep you dry.
Everyone knows exactly what you mean. Communication succeeded. That's a win.
And actually, doing this makes your English sound more natural because that's what native speakers do too when they can't find a word.
All right, so our 4 techniques are think in English directly, use filler words, practice shadowing, and let go of perfection.
Now, let's go deeper and talk about how to actually train your brain to think faster in English.
Okay, brain training. This is where things get really practical. Edward, what's the first thing people should focus on?
Phrases over individual words. This is a game changer. A lot of learners memorize vocabulary as single words, but your brain needs phrases to speak quickly.
Right, because in a real conversation, you don't have time to build every sentence from individual words like you're putting together Lego bricks one by one.
Exactly. But if you've already stored the whole phrase in your brain, it comes out automatically. Like, in my opinion, the reason I think that, one thing I've noticed is,
You don't think about those phrases, they just come, and that smoothness is what fluency feels like.
so instead of studying the word suggest, learn I would suggest that, or if you don't mind me suggesting, the phrase is ready to use immediately.
Love that. Okay, second brain training strategy?
Active listening with prediction. This one's really interesting. When you're listening to someone speak in English, try to predict what they're going to say next before they finish.
Wait, can you explain that more?
Sure. So you're listening to a podcast, for example, and the speaker says, I woke up this morning and I was really, and then you guess the next word. Tired, late, hungry?
Oh, I see. You're training your brain to anticipate language patterns.
Exactly. And when you can anticipate what's coming, your brain starts to process English faster. You're not waiting for each word to arrive. You're already half a step ahead.
And that faster processing makes you a faster speaker, too, because your brain is used to working quickly.
Right. Listening and speaking are more connected than people think. Better listeners usually become better speakers.
That's such a good insight. Okay, what else? Imitating native speakers. Not just what they say, but how they say it.
Yes, find someone whose English you really like, a YouTuber, a podcast host, an actor, whoever, and really study how they speak.
Their speed, their rhythm, the way their sentences go up and down in pitch, where they pause and where they don't.
And then try to copy it, not in a weird way, but as a learning tool. Imitation is honestly one of the fastest paths to natural-sounding speech.
And it also helps with confidence because you're not just trying to speak well in general, you have a specific model to aim for.
Exactly. It gives you something concrete to work toward.
So, our 4 brain training strategies are learn phrases, not just single words, practice active listening with prediction, imitate native speakers, and keep your brain in English mode throughout the day.
Great. Now let's get into the actual exercises, the things you can do starting today. Exercise number 1, the 1-minute challenge. This is simple and incredibly effective.
Pick any topic, your morning routine, your favorite food, your weekend plans, and talk about it for 1 full minute without stopping.
The rule is you cannot stop. If you lose your train of thought, keep going. If you make a mistake, keep going. If you forget a word, describe it and keep going.
The whole point is to train your brain to keep producing English without hitting pause. The content matters less than the continuous flow.
And if 1 minute feels impossible at first, start with 30 seconds, then build up.
I actually tried this when I was learning French, and it was so hard at first. I would just be saying the same thing over and over because I ran out of ideas.
But that's okay. Even repeating yourself keeps the speech flowing, and over time, your brain learns to generate more content more quickly.
It really works. Okay, exercise number 2. Story retelling. This one is great for vocabulary and fluency at the same time.
So you listen to something, a podcast episode, a short video, even a conversation, and then you retell it in your own words.
You're not memorizing it word for word, you're just trying to capture the main ideas in your own English.
And this forces your brain to process the language, store it, and then produce it again. That whole cycle is incredibly good for fluency.
You can also do this with movies or TV shows. Watch a scene, pause, and then describe what just happened as if you're telling a friend.
And don't worry about being perfect. The goal is just to keep talking and get the information out.
Great exercise. What's next?
Speed conversations. This one is really fun if you have a language partner or even just a friend who wants to practice with you.
Set a timer for 2 minutes and have a fast conversation. The goal is to respond quickly without overthinking. Don't let there be long silences.
And the topic can be anything. What did you do yesterday? What's your opinion on pineapple on pizza? What would you do if you won the lottery?
Ha, the classic pineapple debate. But yes, the topic almost doesn't matter. What matters is the speed and the back and forth.
And if you don't have a speaking partner, you can do this alone. Just talk to yourself, in the mirror, in the car, wherever.
People look at you weird if you do it in public, but honestly, it's worth it.
100% worth it. And there's also a great tech option for solo practice.
Yes, speech-to-text apps. Just open the voice recorder or a speech-to-text app on your phone and start talking. Then look at what it transcribed.
If it got most of your words right, your pronunciation and fluency are in good shape. If it missed a lot, you know what to work on.
It's like having a little instant feedback system in your pocket.
So our 4 exercises are the 1-minute challenge, story retelling, speed conversations, and using speech-to-text apps for feedback.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to talk about mindset because you can know all the techniques in the world, but if your mindset is wrong, you'll still get stuck.
This is so true. A lot of pausing doesn't come from lack of knowledge, it comes from fear.
Fear of being wrong, fear of sounding stupid, fear of what the other person will think.
And that fear creates hesitation, which creates pauses, which creates more fear. It's a cycle that only the right mindset can break.
So, mindset shift number 1. Mistakes are not failures, they are data.
I love that framing. Every mistake tells you something. This word is tricky for me. This grammar pattern needs more practice. That's useful information.
And honestly, most native speakers are not judging your mistakes. They're just trying to understand what you're saying. They're on your side.
Mindset shift number 2. Communication is the goal, not perfection. If the other person understands you, you succeeded. Full stop.
A slightly wrong sentence that communicates clearly is better than a perfectly correct sentence that never comes out because you were too afraid to say it.
Say the imperfect thing, communicate, then learn from it and improve.
And mindset shift number 3. Confidence is a skill, not a feeling. You don't wait to feel confident to speak confidently. You speak confidently, and the feeling follows.
That's such an important distinction. A lot of people are waiting to feel ready, but that feeling comes from doing, not from waiting.
Fake it until you make it, basically, but in a healthy way.
Exactly. Speak with energy, make eye contact, don't apologize before every sentence. Project confidence even if you don't feel it yet, and slowly you actually build it. All right, let's bring it all together. We covered a lot today.
We did. So let's do a quick recap. We started by talking about why people pause, lack of confidence, vocabulary gaps, overthinking and translating, and nervousness.
Then we covered 4 techniques to reduce pauses: thinking in English directly, using filler words, shadowing, and letting go of perfection.
Then we talked about training your brain for faster speech, learning phrases, active listening with prediction, and imitating native speakers.
Then 4 practical exercises: the 1-minute challenge, story retelling, speed conversations, and speech-to-text practice.
And finally, 3 mindset shifts. Mistakes are data, communication over perfection, and confidence is a skill you build.
That is a full toolkit. You have everything you need to start working on this right now.
And here's your action step for this week. Pick just one exercise, just one, and do it every day for 7 days.
Don't try to do everything at once. Just pick the one that resonates with you the most and commit to it for 1 week.
The 1-minute challenge is a great starting point if you're not sure where to begin. It's simple, it's quick, and you'll feel the difference fast.
And if you want to tell us how it goes, leave a comment. Seriously, we read everything. What's your biggest challenge when speaking English? Tell us.
Is it finding words? Is it nervousness? Is it overthinking? We want to know.
And if this episode helped you, share it with someone who's also working on their English. Help a friend out.
All right, everyone, that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Keep practicing, keep going, and remember, fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about keep moving forward.
Even when you pause.
Especially when you pause. Just keep going anyway.
Bye, everyone.
See you in the next one.